So the tale of a crash of a top exchange. This is what happens. The crypto market is in fear, uncertainty, and doubt. It's in panic. It's in depression. Let me know in the comments below how you guys are feeling. How's your portfolio doing on the back of this crash? Is it looking good? Are you buying the dip? Are you accumulating at these levels? Let me know in the comments below, guys. I really want to know. So what we've been talking about in this channel for a long time is the decoupling of the crypto market. Do I think that the crypto market's decoupled from the rest of the market? Certainly in the short term, yes. And that's on the back of the FTX crash. So there's lots of people, there's lots of institutions, and there's lots of players that are either rejigging their portfolio, realizing losses, or being liquidated at the moment. Has that finished? Probably got a little while to go, but the signals showing short-term and long-term bullish price action for Bitcoin and the rest of the crypto market. Ultimately, what we've been talking about on this channel is weakness in the dollar. We want to see weakness in the dollar, and boom, you don't get much weaker than that. It's dropped its trend line. It's smashed straight through the weekly resistance, and it's looking like we're going to get a weekly close below the weekly resistance level. So the dollar index currently at 106.416. We keep saying on this channel, when there's weakness in the dollar, and people are coming out of the dollar, they're going into higher risk assets. One of the higher risk assets is usually Bitcoin, but we know we've had the FTX crash, which is poor timing with the rest of the markets because the stock markets have absolutely boomed on the back of the positive CPI news. So you've got the S&P and the NASDAQ there. We're going to talk about what's happening with those. So how are you feeling on the back of the crypto news? Are you positive? Are you buying the dip? Let me know, guys, and let's get straight into this episode.
Never stop, I'll get it if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top.
Okay, guys, get your magnifying glasses out. We're going to do some inspections of the market, and we're going to start with the fear and greed index and see if we can find any probabilities of a major trend reversal in different market assets. So we'll start with the crypto market. The fear and greed index is certainly an extreme fear, 22 out of 100. And you can see every time that we're in extreme fear here, it's on the back of a bounce, extreme fear, back of a bounce. And you can see time and time again, every time you're in extreme fear, it's off the back of a bounce. So we've been in there for quite some time now, and you would expect some kind of a bounce from that. Can't just use that as sentiment that crypto market's going to start bouncing because we're in extreme fear. It can keep bleeding and it can keep bleeding, but we can certainly look at other things. And the one thing that we've been talking about here a lot, and the one thing that we've been talking about that we want to see a reaction from, was the DXY. And we got the exact reaction, what we wanted from the DXY. So we had resistance, hit resistance, it's come back down, tested again as resistance, come back, double top here, and we had a lower low, lower close candle, and you can see that it went downward from there. Come back down, tested this as resistance again, and then we've broken trend. Not only broken trend, we've come back, retested the trend line, acted as resistance, come back down below our weekly resistance of 107.493. So it's Sunday today. It's going to be a weekly close today, and we're going to get a weekly close. It's looking like below the weekly resistance level. So that's showing weakness in the dollar. And when there's weakness in the dollar, we know that people are coming out of the dollar and into other higher risk assets. One of those assets is Bitcoin, but I just want to show you one more thing, which is indicating weakness in the dollar. And if we go in that weekly time frame, you can see that we've got a bit of a divergence playing out here. So on the RSI, if I just pull that up a little bit more so you can see that, we've got a lower high. And on price action, we've got a higher high. So you can see that momentum price action is showing that we're losing steam, whereas the actual charts are telling us that we're gaining steam. And ultimately, this is what happens: drops trend, drops support, and will act as resistance going forward. So that's the DXY. That's the second thing that's showing us that there's going to be some kind of positive news for the crypto market. And we know that on the back of the crypto market, it was the FTX news that ultimately crashed everything. And it's a knock-on effect. We know that macroeconomics tell us that it's not just one player that gets pulled out the market and gets wiped. There's other players that are holding that token. There's other players that are invested in that token. And there's other players that need to get out the market. And ultimately what it does is it floods the market and creates more supply than demand, which causes a reduction in price. And that works with everyday assets. So you can see where we had the bullish divergence on the DXY, or the bearish divergence, should I say, on the DXY. We've got the opposite here on the weekly on the Bitcoin chart, where we've got a bullish divergence. Price action's making a lower low, and the RSI is making a higher low. So opposite effect, you'd expect the opposite reaction, and it's Monday tomorrow, so I'd expect some kind of a market move. Does it mean that we're not going to go any further down? There could be a capitulation week, but another good sign is this long-term trend line that we've had here going back from November. So it's a year-long trend. We've had the break of that trend. We've hit our resistance level of 21,541, and that's when the market slammed down on the FTX news. This is the weekly candle, don't forget. Positive news is we got a reaction from our weekly support level at 16,039 that we always talk about. And we've also got a reaction from this long-term trend line. So let's see if this bullish divergence plays out tomorrow, but that's going to be interesting to see. So last of all, we'll have a quick look at the NASDAQ and the S&P. See, another good indicator of market sentiment is the S&P 500, which is the chart that we've got up now. So the S&P 500 is currently trading in a bit of a descending channel here. Hasn't dropped its major trend line following the moves to the downside recently, and it just looks more like a healthy correction on the macro scale. So we've got the weekly time frame up here and a descending channel or a healthy pullback. We've had this strong bullish engulfing candle, which has managed to close the week, or it will close the week, and a higher close candle. So that's all positive. And if you look through the last few weeks, we've certainly had bullish sentiment here. So we could start seeing the weakness in the DXY, which we've looked at, and people are coming out of the DXY and going in with other assets, such as it's looking like the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. So people will start getting into crypto once it starts settling down a little bit more. Like I say, there's a problem with supply and demand at the moment. There's a lot of players that need to re-diversify. So this is another good indicator. And whilst you're in a descending channel following an upward move, this is a bullish move or a healthy pullback. And if we look at Bitcoin, what you can see is it's following a downwards move. So we've got a descending channel that's playing out here, and descending channels in a downwards move are bullish price indicators. So you can actually stick that as another bullish indicator that we are creating this downwards channel. And the reason why is it's creating exhaustion in the market. The bulls have managed to push price action all the way down. They've managed to bleed everyone. They've wiped all the players out of the market. Things are happening. There's fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And now we're creating this downwards channel. So like I say, we've had this positive reaction from this longer term trend line, and we've had a positive reaction from our weekly support area. So let's see what tomorrow brings. But like I say, a descending channel in a move from the downside is bullish. And what we want to see is a move above this and start incrementally gaining as support again, so we can come back and retest ultimately the 32,000 level again. So one more thing, and it's quite exciting as far as the NASDAQ's concerned, because this is the most bullish out of the lot of them. And you can see with the NASDAQ, it's got head and shoulders pattern playing out nicely here, where you've got your left shoulder, you've got your head, you've got your right shoulder, and this is about to break and close above the right shoulder. So breaking a close above the right shoulder, if we do manage that, and don't forget the weekly closes today, then you're looking at all-time highs, certainly, and price action, as far as the patterns are concerned, should get to the levels of around 82. So that's one to watch, and that's certainly bullish so far as the NASDAQ's concerned. So I hope you liked the episode, guys. Don't forget to check out our bear market strategy. We dropped that last week. Part 2's coming through the week, so don't miss that. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, if you're already an existing member of the channel, if you're a part of the Crypto Bullseye community, share that content and give us a like. It really helps, and appreciate you all. Enjoy the rest of your week.